Alrighty. Thanks for coming to see us today, Cathryn.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're just going to ask you a few questions. Obviously, just answer them. So you would have been given these these questions already.
I did.
Yep.
Forgot one now.
That's all right. Don't worry. So we'll just start with you. What genre do you write, and what do you like writing about that genre?
I write rural romance and romantic adventure stories, and rural romance because I'm a country girl, and it's very much a write what you know sort of thing. And I really like being able to write about the land and about things that I feel really passionately about, which is agriculture and rural communities, small towns, that kind of thing. And I get to write about my fantasy, which are mostly farmers who can do lots of things with their hands.
Okay. Do you plot or do you just go with the flow?
It varies book to book, I've found. So some books I've had to plot. The book that I'm actually currently working on at the moment, I actually was going to sit down and just write it, and I found that I couldn't do it. I was trying myself not, so I've actually gone back and plotted it pretty much chapter by chapter. My latest release, which is April's Rainbow, I didn't plot that at all, but it's a story I've had inside me for a really long time. So it just... I just sat at the computer and started and didn't stop, and because I knew everything that was going to happen, so I didn't need to plot that. My next release, which will be January, is I didn't plot that one either, but I had a very strong idea of where I was going with it anyway, so I kind of knew what I was working towards. I knew what the black moment was going to be, and so it was just a matter of getting to that point along the way. So honestly, it varies from book to book.
Okay, do your characters sort of like talk to you like some authors, or do you just know the characters and then you just write them?
Again, varies from book to book. It really does. Sometimes it'll be the characters so strong that they just lead the way, and then other times it'll be a character that I've had to not manufacture, but I've had to. So a really good example, I guess, is for the book that I'm working on at the moment, where I've had the hero of that book in my head for a long time, but I needed to come up with a heroine to suit him. Mm-hmm. And the reason I hadn't written the book previously to now is because I couldn't find my heroine, so I had to sit down and I found her. Okay. So they really, again, it varies all the time.
Okay. What author do you admire, or authors do you admire?
Authors, please put it.
I know the others have got like half a dozen at least.
There's so many. I was just saying at high tea this afternoon, I said every one of the authors represented here I read and highly admire them because their books are wonderful. Probably I'll say Susanna Kersley at the moment because I've only just finished reading her newest book, which is Named of the Dragon. I just adore her writing. I adore her stories. She has this wonderful sort of subtle romance thread through the books. They're really atmospheric, and they're just beautiful. Stephen King, Cathryn Hein I really like as well. Kate Morton. I was trying to think of some other romance authors that I read. I think Kelly Hunter and Anne Gracie are just fantastic. Rachel Johnson, of course, I'm really good friends with. Amy Andrews, Helene. It's really hard to list them all when you get put on the spot like that. It really is. But I guess harping back, Jilly Cooper, who I thought was brilliant with all her the Rutschi Chronicles, like their characters, that was fantastic. And Fiona Walker's early books as well, Well Groomed and French Relations. I just love those because they're horse books. I kind of like those.
What's your favourite thing about being a romance author?
I've got a number of things that I really like. I think I've met the best people. The romance readers and romance writers are just the most amazing group, and I've made the most wonderful friends. I like working for myself. I like being able to get up in the morning and just dag on into my office in the winter in my tracky dacks and Ugg boots and you know, I want a cup of coffee, but look and poke my head in the fridge when I like and goof off when I want to. And I also really get a kick out of creating my fantasy men.
You mentioned that a couple of times now. So, what's the first romance novel you read?
Yeah, I think the one that really sticks in my mind is a book called A Place in the Hills by an author called Michelle Paver.
Mm-hmm.
And I hadn't really had any experience with true romance novels at that time. You know, there were books that had romantic elements in there, and I'd read a lot of chick lit as well. But that book was the one that really hooked me on the romance side. And then she'd written a historical romance trilogy after that one as well. And so I read A Place in the Hills, which was a contemporary novel, and then I read these the historicals, and it was like this whole world opened up, and they were just amazing. Yeah.
Okay. What sort of books did you read as a child?
Walter Farley's Black Stallion series, and My Friend Flicker, Mary O'Hara. So horse books, because I was horse mad. But I was telling this story over afternoon tea. My mum is not a reader. My family's not readers, but Mum was Mum always understood the value of reading and how important it was for education and so forth. But Mum joined the Doubleday Book Club, and what they'd do would send you a book every month unless you told them not to. So she'd always forget to tell them not to send the book, and so these books would arrive, and then she'd just hand them straight to me. So I got some of the most inappropriate reading material you could imagine. So that was quite an education, I guess, when it comes to reading.
Okay, can't think of what I was going to say. So, for you next, you sort of touched on what you were going to write next. So, can you elaborate on that a little bit more?
My next release, which is January, is coming out. It's sort of like the third book in the Rocking Horse Hill trilogy, but they're standalone books, so you don't need to have read the other ones. So there was Rocking Horse Hill, then there's The Falls, which came out last year, and this one it had a working title called Miller Beach, but it's actually going to be called I forgot, Wayward. It's like a new title, brand new title. We only got it like 2 days ago. Wayward Heart is going to be called, and it's actually Jasmine's story. So there was 3 friends in Rocking Horse Hill. There was M and then Tegan in The Falls, and this is Jazz's story. So
okay, and how did you enjoy the high tea today, and did you like the sort of intimate setting that we had?
Yeah, I thought it was fantastic. I had the most wonderful people on my table. I even had a lady come all the way from Edenhope in Western Victoria, which is not far from my hometown, which was fantastic. And I really loved it. That was really good. We should do this again.
And what do you enjoy about being a part of ARA?
The people. Really, really enthusiastic people who love the genre and read widely as well. That's the other thing. It's like romance readers don't just read all romance. Like they read everything. Yeah. But their true passion is, of course, romance, and that's really appealing. It's great people. Yeah.
Thanks, Cathryn.
No worries.